With an aim to address critical issues affecting the global south, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi touched down at Brindisi Airport in Apulia, Italy on June 14. India, represented by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is participating as an outreach country to discuss global south concerns and bilateral cooperation. It will be an opportunity to bring greater synergy between the outcomes of G20 summit held under India's presidency. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first foreign trip since he took oath as Prime Minister in third term. The 50th G7 summit is being held from June 13 to 15, 2024 in Apulia, Italy, with leaders from Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK and the US along with EU representation. This is the 7th time that Italy hosts the G7. Here's an exclusive report from DD India's Amritpal Singh from Italy on G7 summit.
India is not a member of the G7 but is invited as a partner country. This is the 11th time that India has been invited. The Prime Minister's attendance will be the 5th consecutive attendance in his first overseas visit after assuming office during his third term. The Prime Minister is expected to address an outreach session of the G7 summit where he could touch upon issues related to artificial intelligence, cooperation in the Mediterranean and with the African continent, as also energy security. The Prime Minister could raise the issue of counter-terrorism in his address. The Prime Minister shall also be holding bilateral meetings with his counterparts, both from the G7 countries as well as the G7 partner countries. There are 12 partner countries that have been invited by Prime Minister Meloni for the Italy summit of G7. Prime Minister, during its meetings, bilateral meetings with his counterparts, especially with the Italian Prime Minister, would like to review the entire gamut of the relationship, be it in the sectors of defense, IT, pharmaceuticals, people-to-people contact, or even textiles and pharmaceuticals. He will also meet with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Interestingly, he shall be holding a bilateral meeting with President Zelensky of Ukraine, who has been invited by Giorgia Meloni. Prime Minister Meloni has been stressing that G7 must come together to deal with the conflict of Russia-Ukraine, which is dominating the agenda here at the G7 summit. Prime Minister Modi could once again reiterate the Indian position that the solution to the conflict can only be found through dialogue and diplomacy and not through military victory. He shall also meet with the French President Emmanuel Macron, as also he could meet his counterparts from the other G7 partner countries. With cameraman Shilinder Chauhan, this is Amritpal Singh for DD India in Apulia, Italy.
The leaders from the group of 7 major democracies